If you have the opportunity, always, always, always buy a home instead of an apartment. One BR, as the smartass in me really wants to say, one brr. And this film was released on the independent circuit in 2019, has been hitting digital streaming services in 2020, and it was a screener recommendation from GingerNutsOfHorror.com. This is the horror week of the month for Caleb Watches Movies, so I'm checking out some of the screeners that GingerNutsOfHorror.com is providing me. If any of you aren't familiar with it, it's a great website where you can go and read reviews on books, films, video games, anything horror related. A great little website for you to kind of house all the fun horror happenings in the world. And this film is directed by David Marmer, who has directed a couple of shorts by the name of The Texture of Love, Spin, and Love, and Other Unstable States of Matter. And this film is starring Nicole Brydon Bloom, or as I like to call her, NBB. No, I don't call her that. I've never heard of her before. Don't even know who she is. But she's pretty damn good in this movie. Sarah has moved out to Los Angeles, California, you know, to find herself. Is there anyone from LA in LA? I feel like everyone in LA is just from the Midwest or from other places in the world and in this country. I don't think anyone is actually from LA. It's because we go there to be discovered and to escape our closed-minded families in the Midwest. And she's not wrong. And after searching weeks and weeks for a place to stay, she is finally approved for an apartment. However, Sarah is about to realize that this apartment complex is not all that it seems. Which is a description that you could say basically about any horror movie. So-and-so goes to blah blah blah, but they're about to find out that blah 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 is not all that it seems. Because who doesn't really suspect nice people in your apartment complex? I do. That's really just because I'm a jerk. When we lived in an apartment complex, we were good neighbors. We weren't loud at all. We didn't disrupt anyone. We didn't cause any problems. But we did get in trouble because we started housing more cats than we were claiming. We lived in an apartment for 5 years right after we got married, and at that time we only had 2 cats, so we put them down on our contract and you know, we were paying for them. But then over the years we started adding 1, 2, 3 more cats to the whole litter. So we had 5 cats in this tiny little apartment. We're cat people, what can I say? I have a freaking cat tattoo here for my boy. My boy who passed away last November. And we kept those extra ones a secret for the first 4 years. And then that last year, I think like the managers of the apartment complex switched and they were looking in the window and they saw, no, that cat is orange. That cat is not black and white or gray. They have more cats in there that they're not paying for. Thank God they didn't evict us right away, but they were kind of implying that either you get rid of the extra cats or your contract is almost up and we're not renewing with you. The moral of the story is buy a home instead of an apartment if you can. Yes, there are more taxes involved with it and there's a lot more manual labor that you have to do, keeping up with the garden and the yard and everything, but a house surprisingly can be a lot cheaper than paying for an apartment. And I wish I would have been there to tell Sarah that. I know it's a horror movie, so I know something bad is going to happen here, but I just want to be there and be like, no, Sarah, go room with a friend on the outskirts of LA and then commute in. Please. This whole time I was getting Midsommar vibes, and it's basically the same story, kind of, just in LA. And that's not really a spoiler. That was in the trailer where it was showing all of this fun happenings going on. But this whole apartment complex turns out to be kind of this small little cult. And they all take care of each other and build up a society and a community together that's just contained in this one apartment complex. Actually, it's more like The Village than Midsommar. Midsommar had a lot more gutting of human intestines and things. Village is probably a lot more accurate. Someone got burned on the outside, and so decided to buy up this little place in the world, and was like, everyone's out. No one else can come in unless we want them to. That's what happens with Sarah. They see her apply for this apartment complex, this room, and they see that she is pretty fragile. She doesn't have a lot of confidence. She takes medication. She's kind of lost in the world, which tends to be easy prey for a cult leader like what we get here. And this also happens in the trailer too, but you knew something was going to happen when she said, nope, I don't have any pets, and then she snuck in a cat into her apartment. Ooh, something bad happens. I think that's why I was telling my cat apartment story, because I've been in her position. I know exactly where she is. You gotta have pets with you, right? Especially if you're by yourself. They talk to you. They give you cuddles when you don't have someone else to. It's why they're there. Just pets are awesome, and they're better than humans. And how crazy do I sound right now? But something bad does happen. And usually in a movie, and that happens, I'm like, nope, I'm done, I am out, I can't stand it. They don't linger on it here, so I was able to move past it pretty quickly and to see this whole journey of Sarah play out. And that journey it's actually pretty predictable. I was guessing everything that was happening in this movie within the first 10 minutes. So-and-so, oh, they're going to turn out to be bad, or the twist is going to happen here, and it does, and then things proceed forward, and then things happen at the end. I guessed it all right in the first 10 minutes. I was shocked at how fast the twist actually does happen in this movie. I thought they were going to drag out all the noises and the sounds of like the pipes moving in her apartment, and they were going to do a lot more jump scares. I thought they were going to drag that out a lot more, but that story actually kind of gets resolved in the first 30 minutes, and then this story completely shifts and pivots in what type of a movie that we're watching here. So that was pretty surprising. I kind of wish they would have drawn it out, because once that pivot does happen, and we start seeing, okay, how crazy this whole cult situation is, the pacing, for me at least, it felt like it slowed down a lot, which I think was the nature of the beast of this story and where the writer was taking it. So I guess I don't know how you would have sped up the pace a little bit more, but I definitely felt it there. It does build to a satisfying conclusion, though, where you see Sarah kind of take ownership of herself and of her life, even though it kind of leaves it on a cliffhanger like all good horror films do, or at least the ones that I've seen. I really enjoyed Sarah's journey, and I really enjoyed Nicole's performance of Sarah. She just has one of those likable personalities that you can't help but watch on screen and root for her, no matter what choices that she makes. The other thing that stood out to me in this movie was the score. The main theme that was playing in the beginning of this film, and then at the end, the composer, Ronan Landa, if I'm saying that correctly. I love the theme of this movie, and whenever it played, it gave me goosebumps, and it kind of gave me that little fist-pumping moment in this film. Again, for those of you that don't know, I am not a horror expert, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when a horror film does really grip me, and I'm really engaged in everything that I'm seeing on screen. And this one did that. I think this movie is fantastic. I think it's a great independent film that a lot more people need to watch and give it a shot. It's always a coin flip whenever I get these screeners. Is it going to be good? Am I going to be entertained? Or is this going to be a piece of crap like what happened last month with Human Zoo? So 1BR, it is great, and I definitely recommend it. I'm going to give 1BR 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
And once again, the moral of this whole review is buy a home, don't buy an apartment. With an apartment, you usually pay a lot more per month than you would with a mortgage. And you get a lot more room with a mortgage, and you can have all the pets that you want, and no one's gonna stop you. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos, where I pick which movie I'm gonna be watching next, and this is Horror Week at Caleb Watches Movies, so we're gonna be watching another screener from GingerNutsOfHorror.com, a little film called A Nun's Curse. And no, not the nun from the Conjuring franchise, this is just a nun. And she's cursed. Seems like there's this weird psycho zombie nun that's going around an abandoned building, stabbing all of these teenagers. Basically standard slasher film stuff. So we'll check that out next time. Again, thank you very much, Ginger Nuts of Horror, for the screener and the recommendation of this movie. Again, if any of you are interested in just seeing a bunch of reviews from different artists all over the web, books, films, video games, TV, anything horror related, head over to gingernutofhorror.com and check them out. And if any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, leave your comment below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there. If you want to make a PayPal donation, you can go to the PayPal button on the main page of my YouTube channel. You can submit your recommendation and your donation there. If you donate, it might push your recommendation up to the front of the line. I can get to it faster. So guys, have you seen 1BR? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of A Nun's Curse. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.